We're anxious to have our ribbon cutting.
Yes, we're ready to have it. We're anxious too. I mean, things have been going great.
Sharon, Andrea, not cut with me yesterday.
We are honored to have with us today someone who we have watched for years on the gridiron. It began during his days of playing at Evangel, and then LSU as a fighting tiger, and it evolved into a coaching career at Evangel, Redemptorist High School, Tulane, and on the Los Angeles Rams staff, during which time, by the way, he won the Super Bowl, and he has the size 16 ring to show for it. You want to wave that, Coach Dawson? Then in March 2022, the Shreveport native returned home, where he was named head football coach at Centenary College, leading the team's historic return to the field for the first time since 1947. Husband to Tanisha and father to 19-year-old daughter Leah and 16-year-old Jaden, Coach Dawson shares that my faith has been a cornerstone in my life. As a preacher's kid, I learned early on the significance of living out my beliefs and the hope that comes from a Christian lifestyle. Would you please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Coach Byron Dawson.
Good morning. Let me first say thank you to the committee, to the leadership of these two great cities, to the great leadership at Centenary College, President Holloman and his staff, David Orr, Board of Trustees, the supporters there. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. You know, I would like to read Jesus' words known as the Sermon on the Mount. It comes from Matthew 5:14, and it reads, "You are the light of the world, a city built on a hill that cannot be hidden." Those are powerful words. The scripture is a call for each of us to be a visible beacon of light and hope and goodness. This morning I want to speak briefly about being the light. We all can be the light. You know, light dispels darkness. Basically, darkness has to flee when you shine a bright light. There is clarity and vision that comes from the light. You know, the more light, the more sight. I tell my players all the time, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how dark the time is or the moment is, if you lose a game, if you get some bad news, always remember the sun is going to come up in the morning. You know, my father, the late Reverend Byron Dawson, used to always say, the darkest hour is just before day. You know, over at Centenary, we start at 5:30 in the morning, and I can attest to that. The darkest hour is just before day. And so if we just stay patient and keep our faith in God until day comes, we can make it through those dark times. You know, back in the summer, we had a very bad thunderstorm here in Shreveport, and we lost power. I can remember sitting in my home in the heat. The neighborhood was so dark and quiet. It was spooky quiet. And so I got in my truck and I got some AC and I charged up my phone, and I decided to take a trip around the block and just check out the neighborhood. And I noticed one of my neighbors' homes was lit up like a Christmas tree. I couldn't believe, how does he have light? And the closer I got to the home and I parked, I noticed that he had one of those fancy generators going. And I said those three words that every nosy, jealous neighbor would always say, must be nice, must be nice. You know, in the neighborhood games, it's tough sometimes. Those retired guys, you know, while you're at work, they get generators and they do all those little things. They get an edge on you. But, you know, I thought about that moment because I thought about the fact that we had talked before about that Generac. And, you know, and I went to Home Depot and I priced it. And I asked the guy, I said, I need the generic. Change that A to I. Don't give me the Generac. I need the generic. Give me the no-name brand one. But there's a message in this. No matter how dark your life gets, no matter what storms come in your life, we all have the power to generate light. The generator kept his home bright in the midst of darkness. We all have the Holy Spirit, a built-in generator that's in our heart that can produce light. Even life storms come. No matter how dark life may get, we can make it. Matthew 5:15-16 says, neither do people light up a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light so shine before man that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light so shine. That adverb, so, means passion and zeal. Stir up your gift. Let your light so shine so that you can be a difference in this world. Sometimes in life, just a word can change your path. Just a kind, positive word can be a light in a dark time. I want you to think about the moments in your life where you've had some dark moments and someone came with a word that changed everything. Psalms 119:105 says, your word is a lamp for my feet and a light to my path. A positive word can change the trajectory of somebody's life. We don't speak death, we speak life. I don't curse my players. We give blessings, not curses. And so we want our guys to dream big and to believe that they can do great things. You know, I have several former players that are doing great things in life, and right now currently there's 9 guys that I've coached in the past that's playing pro football. And you would think that them being professional athletes every day would be bright, but they go through a lot, and sometimes they'll call me and text me and say, Coach, thank you for those words. Those words that you said years ago still resonate in my heart. It's like a seed that keep producing harvest over and over again. And every word that I said was always based on the biblical principles that I've learned all my life. Coach Saban was a light to me. He drilled into my mind life skills and principles that I use daily with my team. He used to say, don't focus on the results, but focus on the process. Those words have helped me to win a lot of games and to be victorious in a lot of situations. The copy of his old playbook don't hurt either. Growing up in West Shreveport, my grandmother lived in Bossier, right off of Sligo Road. And as a young child, one of my greatest moments that I used to remember is crossing over I-20 and seeing the Texas Street Bridge and those neon lights. That was just a cool thing for me as a young child. I don't know what happened to those lights. At some point, the bridge went dark. The lights went off. I don't know, was it because of maintenance? Was it because of financial constraints? But the bridge went dark. I worked at Tulane for a couple of years down in New Orleans. When I moved back to Shreveport in 2022, I noticed that the lights were back on. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever. Shreveport-Bossier, we've had some dark times. We've had businesses to leave. We've had people to leave. But I'm so proud to say today that the lights are back on. Every time I see ribbon cutting from our 2 great mayors, from new businesses coming to town, every time I see the great production and the things that's going on in our 2 great cities, the lights are back on. When I did my research, I found out that one man and a group of supporters made a decision one day to turn the lights back on. Dr. Bukowski and a group of dedicated supporters brought the lights back to life. Now my kids, my players who come from all over the country can witness the light. That's a symbol. That bridge is important. It's a bridge between our 2 great cities. It connects us. And to me, It's a reminder that no matter how dark the day, we all have the power to be a light. You know, I've traveled all over this country recruiting. I've seen some great sights. You know, I've stared at the White House. I've seen the Grand Canyon. But one of the greatest sights that I see is when I cross over that Texas Street Bridge and I see right at the end of the street, especially at night, First Methodist Church with that tall steeple lit up. It reminds me of a light, a city on a hill that shines so bright. Remember, the me I see is the me I will be. The more light I see, the more it motivates me. To every volunteer coach, we see the light. When I drive in Bossier and I see the water towers honoring our soldiers and saluting our troops, we see the light. When I drive in Shreveport and I see the signs that say, I love Shreveport, we see the light. To every church ministry, we see the light. Providence House, Gingerbread House, Volunteers of America, Kiwanis, St. Jude's, Christian Services, we see the light. To the members of City Hall, we see the light. To my second grade speech therapist teacher, Miss Johnson, I was extremely shy and had a bad stuttering problem. Thank you for your light. To my junior high counselor, Miss Goree, thank you for the light. To my parents, to the village that it takes to raise a Coach Dawson, my wife and my family, thank you for your light. You know, there's so many bright lights here. I would be here all night if I tried to name them all. But Shreveport-Bossier, we are so blessed to have so many bright lights. Before I take my seat, I want everyone here to take out their smartphone and turn on your flashlight. And I want you to hold it up high. Let this serve as a powerful reminder that we all have a light and that we all can be a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Whether it's Shreveport-Bossier or Bossier-Shreveport, when we come together and share our lights, we become a powerful force versus darkness. You might not have the resources to light up Texas Street Bridge like Dr. Bukowski, but you can be a light for your family, your friends, and your circle. Your little light can make a big difference. It reminds me of a song we used to sing back in Sunday school. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And there's one verse that I really love that I just gotta say today. It said, Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Keep shining, Shreveport-Bossier. Thank you for your time, and may God bless you, and may he keep you.